but like most of the people who are buying assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
People that use fiat currency as a store of value, we call them poor. We call them poor. People that use fiat currency, we call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. We call them poor. There's a name for them. We call them poor. We call them poor. Okay.
GM, welcome back to the channel. In this one, we are taking a look at some of the updates across the market, starting with Bitcoin, with a bit of Sol and even some DeFi as well. And of course, today we have the Dencun upgrade for ETH as well. So we're going to see if there's any material changes for us in terms of user experience from that occurring as well. So if you enjoyed this one, do subscribe to the channel and we'll jump on in. So BTC starting off here, as you can see, broken all-time high, trading comfortably above $72,000 now. We've tickled 73K. Yesterday, of course, we had a bit of a shakeout. Nothing major. People were getting quite irate about a very small move down, but as you probably would have witnessed, it was mainly a run to liquidate the longs. So the price action a bit nasty to the downside, 69K, rebounds back to 71 within like a 4-hour period. A lot of people got liquidated. High leverage traders are going to get absolutely mowed over, which is ridiculous because we have the biggest cycle in existence occurring in front of our eyes, the golden bull run, if you will. So do not fumble this bull run by leverage trading. There is absolutely zero need for it. You are being an absolute degenerate if you're high leverage trading this thing. So let's move on. Inflows yesterday. The suits are buying the bags en masse. We've just had the biggest inflow on record. $1 billion was the total inflow from yesterday. 1,045 million in total. Larry Fink's gang, 849 inflow, just 79 outflow from GBTC. So potentially some of the unwinds coming from GBTC starting to slow down. We've seen this in the past though. They've had a few like low days and then they came back with some big sells. But generally that is going to just wane over time. And you can see from just the numbers in here, IBIT is just clawing Bitcoin like crazy right now. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening in the backgrounds here. Essentially, the big orange coin, Bitcoin, is being bought by Tradfi. The altcoins are doing their own thing. There doesn't seem to be much rhyme or reason in terms of rotations at this point. Everything just seeming to go when it's ready or go on its own kind of schedule here. So it's quite a tricky one to actually trade. So this is why you should just be finding the best coins in certain categories and just holding them. There's no reason to overthink things here. The market cycle is not topping out before this halving. Weekly crypto asset flows from CoinShares here, as you can see, 3 huge skyscrapers in a row. So the numbers are huge. Last month, inflows totaled 293 mil. Now we have 7 consecutive weeks of plus 1 billion or more going into the suits. So this is the chart to see how Tradfi are allocating into cryptocurrency. Ryan Selkis here posted this as well. We're months away from a G20 country announcing they're buying Bitcoin for their country's treasury. Now imagine if this does get announced, because if you have people who have money printers at their disposal buying Bitcoin, the price can run up quite outrageously from there because, as you know, fiat is quite worthless in many ways. And if you are able to just print and then buy a hard asset like Bitcoin, the game theory behind that is quite astounding, and you'll probably get others also joining in. So hopefully, to be honest with you, something like that doesn't really happen, and you've just got some random country just aping in, printing money and buying BTC, because that just really just disturbs the meaning of money, which I know is very much bastardized at this point, but we don't want things to get too out of hand. But if this is going to happen, it's going to happen. So, and he is obviously the founder of Masari, so maybe he knows something is going on here. So crazy times we're living through right now, and we haven't even had the rate cuts and the printing to monetize the debt as of yet. With news, we have someone absolutely pumping the bags here. So this was one combined order of $1.2 million aped in at WIF, $2.32 average price for those tokens purchased. So someone is absolutely smashing the buy button for WIF, over 2 million on that one account over the last 24. Here is the chart, a wick down to the box I'd mapped out previously. This was almost a 30% retrace, 28%, 27, 8%, something like that. And then we saw a bit of a rebound here from yesterday when people were panicking, and now this is the wick that the guys printed there with that 1.2 million bid coming in the last couple hours here. WIF at $2.29 this morning. WIF on Sphere, how's it getting going? 87% of the way there. So 567k of the 650k required to put the dog with the hat on the Sphere for a full week has been contributed so far. So if you do want to contribute to this, come to the website, click the buttons, send some USDC in, and probably going to get yourself some good karma for doing so. But also, if someone does decide, right, we can just airdrop maybe everyone who participated with this, some tokens for whatever it may be. Like, if you want to find a cohort of people who are very much meme coin enthusiasts, who are obviously bullish enough to send their own money and that kind of thing, I think you can reward them. So I have been allocating some funds into this to help dog with hat on the Sphere. Now, one of the coins we talked about recently, just did a tokenomics update for, was Crown. That is photo finish game. So someone had sniped this from Ansem's Telegram chat. Someone was asking him, what's the target market cap wise for Crown? And he said $10 billion. And that would mean the token price of Crown, because I'm assuming that's an FDV he's talking about there, would be a $25 Crown price point. So put that one in your pipe and smoke it. It's currently like $1.40. He's also dropped some alpha here saying he's going to be converting his Bitcoins into Solana. So suggesting this kind of 0.002, so 200,000 Satoshi level is where he thinks the bottom is going to form here for Sol BTC. And he thinks it can run up to 600,000 Satoshis. So you would get a 3x on Bitcoin if you were to pair trade that. Then something that caught my eye here was DeFi. Total value locked into DEXs here is on the up. You can see it starting to really climb here. It will surpass all-time highs as each cycle is getting bigger. But if you just come down to this, the volume has really kicked up on the likes of your favorite trading venues. Uniswap last 7 days, over 20, almost 21 billion of trade. Curve did 2 billion of trade. PancakeSwap almost doing $11 billion of trade over the last 7 days. So what I'm thinking here is that a lot of people's muscle memory is kicking in from last cycle. They would have been trading on PancakeSwap. They're going back to do the same thing again for round 2. But the price chart has lagged significantly here. As you can see, that is the all-time. On a shorter term time frame, over the last 7 days, it is pumping up nicely here. Looking like it is getting major bid, and people are realizing that DeFi is somewhat undervalued here. Market cap just 1.1 billion. I think this goes a lot higher, and it should push towards the all-time high of the last cycle, in my opinion. As to Jupiter has broken out now. Again, roughly 1.1 billion in that circulating market cap there. Going to push higher due to the fact most trade is now going through the likes of Jupiter on Sol, PancakeSwap for Binance Chain, and then over on Ethereum mainnet, we saw Uniswap there doing big volume. But again, that fee switch that they promised maybe we'll have a vote on doesn't look like it's going to go through. So pretty crazy stuff. And I think the DeFi re-rating will occur as there's more tokens being traded across these venues. They generate more fees, and the underlying tokens should go up in price. Got a bit more on this in the coming weeks as well. So I've made some allocations to some DeFi protocols for passive income, and I will bring this to the channel when the time is right, maybe in the next fortnight. So not only have we seen a 7-figure buy on WIF today, we're seeing 6 figures go into the likes of, this is Retardio here. So this guy here earlier T-WAP'd in big numbers, swapping out Bonk into Retardio over like an hour-long period, just DCing in like a madman. I think it was around 80k he put in, but I've seen numerous wallets actually aping Retardio recently, which is definitely very interesting to see, because this was one we caught quite early on as well. So very interesting to see big gains to be made on the memes. In terms of a Dencun upgrade today, an EIP 4844, As Ansem says, it improves the user experience for L2s, but doesn't materially change experience on ETH as the L1. So expect L2 usage to increase on a relative basis to ETH L1, but less fees to be paid to the base layer at onset until total activity increases 10x plus to match the decrease in fees. So essentially there's been a decrease in fees. I think this should update maybe tomorrow. As you can see, some of the swap fees on here, like $1.29 for Arbitrum. The L2s should be a lot cheaper to transact on now. Maybe this has already updated. I don't look at this too often, to be honest with you, but I'm aware that people were tweeting that Arbitrum was $10 to trade on just the other day. So maybe this has had a 10x user improvement there in terms of those costs. But you want to see these prices go a lot lower. Obviously, ETH mainnet for anyone entering the market, and even people who've been in the space for a while, I do not want to trade on ETH mainnet. It costs like $40, $50 to do a simple swap, and at peak times you could be paying over $100. It just doesn't make any sense to actually pay that, even if you can afford to, because if you're doing like maybe $1,000 trades and you eat 10% of that in a fee, that leaves you with a very bitter taste. And you can see what's happening here is Solana is getting the majority of trade. As I just highlighted, PancakeSwap seemingly getting a lot of volume running through it as well right now. So it is up to the L2s of Ethereum to maybe start to claw back from Sol, from BSC with this Dencun upgrade. So we'll see how this does progress over the coming weeks, but maybe we'll see a bit of a repricing for the likes of Optimism, Arbitrum, and others. So my message for you today is, if you are in spot positions, just do nothing, just wait and let the market do the heavy lifting for you. Rising tide will lift all ships. You can see that the suits are bidding Bitcoin as if it's going out of fashion, and this has taken the rest of the market with it. More people are going to enter this market over the coming months, and those are just going to mean that all the numbers get lifted together and your portfolio will go up and up and up. And then you will have the ability to sell it at a later date. Probably when you don't want to is when you should, as you'll probably be thinking, what if this goes up another 2x, another 4x, that kind of thing. The issue we will have is when to sell. So setting sell targets, price points at which you think, that'd be reasonable to cash out at. Maybe not sell your full bags, obviously, but cash out money back into your fiat account, into your bank account, change your life if possible. Those kind of things, you want to have these written out before it goes absolutely batshit crazy. And as you can see from the charts here, things are starting to go batshit crazy. So buckle up, strap in. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.